The ancient kingdom of Aguleri, the acclaimed epicenter of Igbo geniture, again, very recently, assumed the center of discourses on the significance of a people's cherished heritage and enduring culture. The historic events of the last Ovala festival of His Royal Highness Eze Christopher Mwabunwanne Idigo IV, Ogalagidi II, Igwe Aguleri, Thursday, March 28, 2019, to Sunday, March 31st, 2019, announcing the Igwe's homeward journey to his revered progenitors, provided the lead to the steadfast sublime tradition that defines the Aguleri kingdom and the regality of the over a century-old Idigo dynasty of Aguleri. It was a summation of the ancient and the modern, as the neatly knitted ceremonies linked time past with the present.
Igwe Ogalagidi na-agba ọkpala azụ. When I come there, said, I was that. Then when I'm going to give you a name. You did that one when you Igwe ruled for 24 years. 24 years. And I played with peace under his leadership. It's not the greatest, it's one of the greatest Igwe Aguleri has ever had. Most of the Amuna, social people will govern. So when
the momentous unrestricted glide from an epoch into another, from a transited Igwe to another Igwe, demonstrated the sacredness of the consensual belief in Aguleri kingdom that time is not broken by the transient phenomena in the affairs of men. No vacuum is permissible in the leadership of Aguleri kingdom, therefore. Hence, the prompt emergence of His Royal Majesty Igwe Dr. Michael Chukwunemeli Idigo V, Ezeudo I, as Eze Aguleri on Friday, March 29, 2019. Immediately after Ogalagidi's homeward journey officially took effect with the conclusion of his traditional last Ovala festival.
Like every other Agulerian, my feeling on that day was mixed. I am one of the few persons very, very close to my predecessor. He was my mentor. I literally served him the whole 24 years of his reign. There was nothing of note he did that I was not part of. In that sense, I was on that day feeling a deep sense of loss. As a member of the royal family, I know that every person has a chance of becoming the Igwe. And the tradition that there is no vacuum in Aguleri leadership means that on the day you commit an Igwe to Mother Earth, another Igwe will be born almost immediately, so that there is no vacuum. In that sense also, when I was selected and presented and accepted by the Aguleri people, I felt humbled. I felt this big weight coming over me. Let me say, as the crown was being put over my head, you know, as light as it was, I felt a certain heaviness. But that was short-lived, because after the prayers of the elders, I felt buoyed, and the weightiness, you know, reduced, and then I started moving on.
This is in keeping with the tradition of the over a century Idigo dynasty established by Ezenwanne Idigo I, who was crowned the first Eze Aguleri on July 6, 1900, on the wings of the heroic feats of his late father, Onyekomeli Idigo, 1840 to 1900, the acclaimed primogenitor of the Idigo heritage. Ezenwanne Idigo I ruled Aguleri Kingdom from 1900 to 1910 and was succeeded by Eze Raphael Anakuba Idigo, Eze Idigo II, whose reign spanned from 1910 to 1960. Eze Idigo II was succeeded by Eze Alphonsus Ezeudo Idigo III, who ruled from 1960 to 1995, before the 24-year reign of Eze Christopher Nwabunwanne Idigo IV, Ogalagidi II, 1995 to 2019. In a reenactment of the Aguleri historical process of succession, Igwe Ogalagidi was succeeded by Igwe Dr. Michael Chukwunemeli Idigo V in a conference of solemn rites that bid farewell to the transited Igwe and instituted the kingship of the new one. The ancient kingdom of Aguleri was therefore thrown into a mixed feeling of mourning and jubilation as the people honored their beloved Igwe Ogalagidi II in a befitting rite of passage to their revered ancestry, while celebrating the radiant emergence of Ezeudo I, Igwe Dr. Michael Chukwunemeli Idigo V, as the occupier of the sacred stool of kingship of the Idigo dynasty.
I have a lot of fond memories Igwe Ogalagidi, Eze Christopher Nwabunwanne Idigo IV. In his reign, at the beginning of his reign, when he was still learning the ropes, when there was some trouble in Aguleri, he couldn't take hold of things until 3 years after his coronation. Within those 3 years, before he took charge, Aguleri was involved in 2 fratricidal wars between her neighbors, and immediately he came in. He told me that there will never be war again between Aguleri and her neighbors. He went about making peace. He had friends from our neighboring community with whom, you know, he had to make the peace. I remember when a cross-section of Aguleri people called him saboteur, because he was conceding a lot, and I asked him, why are you doing that? He told me that no amount of land is worth the life of an Aguleri person, or an Aguleri person for that matter. If conceding 1 kilometer of land will bring about peace and safety of life and property, then it's worth the while. And that was what he did. To a large extent, we had lived in relative peace. I remember that, and I want to continue with that, so that we can achieve real peace between the two communities.
Eze Christopher Nwabunwanne Idigo, who by the ceremonies of his last of valor was colorfully ushered into the pantheon of Aguleri respected ancestry, was born into the Idigo royal family of Aguleri on the 25th of November 1944. He grew up a prince whose purposeful attitude to life marked out for great attainments. As a promising young boy, the prince attended St. Joseph's Primary School, Aguleri, 1950 to 1956, where he made a brilliant result in his first school leaving certificate examination. He was then admitted into the prestigious St. Teresa's College in Nsukka, where in 1964 he again obtained a very impressive result in the West African School Certificate Examination. In 1966, Prince Christopher Nwabunwanne Idigo gained admission to study mechanical engineering in the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, UNN. Though this degree program was truncated by the Nigeria Civil War of 1967 to 1970, Prince Christopher resumed pursuit of his academic dream in 1970 and in 1974 obtained a UNN Bachelor of Science degree in mechanical engineering. The wide scope of his professional practices that span through the public and private sectors exposed Prince Christopher Idigo to the dynamic world of engineering, as he saw engineering from his National Youth Service Corps engagements at the defunct Bendel Textile Mills, Asaba Tex, where he served as a maintenance engineer 1974, through the Operation and Technical Services Department of the Nigerian Steel Development Authority, NSDA, Lagos, where he served as a Grade 1 mechanical engineer. He joined the AG Leventis conglomerate as a workshop manager in Leventis Technical Limited, 1981. He rose to become the divisional general manager in charge of motors and power products division. Prince Christopher later went private and founded Hycotech Engineering Limited in league with some colleagues of his. He was in this when the traditional stool of leadership of his people beckoned, and he became Igwe Idigo IV, following the transition of his uncle, Eze Alphonsus Ezeudo Idigo III. Igwe Christopher Nwabunwanne Idigo IV's reign was notable for the conscious effort the Igwe made in ensuring warm communality amongst the people of Aguleri and between them and their neighboring communities, which would be one of the major interests in his reign.
Yes, I am new on the throne, but I'm not new to the throne. Like I said, I've worked with Ogalagidi for 24 years. Ezeudo, as in my own concept, will translate to mean the king that will bring about peace. And I chose the name particularly because I think peace is what is needed most in the Aguleri community. And the Anambra State as a whole, perhaps Nigeria, the whole world. Without peace, there cannot be meaningful development anywhere. When brothers don't live in peace, there's going to be a lot of trouble infighting, and so on. So when peace is achieved, then the road is clear for development. So that's why I chose Ezeudo. And God helping, in my reign in Aguleri, I hope to achieve peace within Aguleri. I hope to achieve peace between Aguleri and her neighbors. That's my ultimate goal. The next thing I will do will be to look at the youths. As is common in Nigeria now, substance abuse is very common amongst the youths. I want to look into that and see how we engage the youths into more meaningful activities so that they can spend their energy in useful things. That way, it will also contribute to peace, because so their ills related to substance abuse will be reduced, if not totally eliminated, and then Aguleri will become a better place. So these two will be my initial projects, and I hope before the end of this year we'll have been through with them.
May the reign of Igwe Dr. Michael Chukwunemeli Idigo V be long. May his reign bring peace and prosperity to the Aguleri kingdom.